Hello everybody, another live stream. Today is Friday, February 13th. Yesterday price expanded pretty nicely. And today is Friday, so I'm not expecting a huge expansion for today. I mean, you never know what price is going to do, but after price, I feel like price already done whatever it was going to do, okay? It started somewhere, done some things, and then expanded lower and taking out these lows. We are getting closer to weekend, and I kind of feel like price might do whatever it is going to do on next week. So today is a triple caution day for me. And first minutes of the New York Open looks like consolidation. I mean, look at the way moving averages look, right? Moving averages are just a lagging indicator, okay? They are lagging indicators. What does it mean? What does it mean? It means that these just show what has happened. But to position ourselves for a higher probability scenario, we don't need to know the future. Knowing past is actually enough for us. What I'm trying to say is these moving averages are telling me that price has been consolidating, right? And when I look at the price, I can easily see that it is visibly consolidating. It is inside of a range, right? So when it is visibly consolidating for a while, I just assume price may keep doing whatever it is doing, right? If it is consolidating, well, it may keep consolidating. Until when? Well, until it stops consolidation. Until it breaks out and starts to moving towards somewhere. And that is when I wanna start looking for my setup ideas, okay? Either that or I might look for a mean reversion setups, right? So today I will either wait for a solid breakout, or if I see a nice valid mean reversion setup inside of the range, then I may participate in that too. So today is the day we try to not give the profits we took on rest of the week. As human beings, our brains does not work perfectly. I mean, we have got tendencies towards many logical errors, right? These errors are called as cognitive biases. And one of that cognitive biases is recency bias. Our brain has got a tendency towards making assumptions based on the most recent past. Okay, if our brain experienced something, certain thing, a certain thing, our brains just makes the assumption that it will experience it once again. Our future projections are most of the times coming from our past experiences. So, recency bias is a real thing, and it means that I will explain it with simpler terms, okay? Recency bias is, well, it dropped like that yesterday, so it is going to drop like that today either. This is recency bias, and we try our best to avoid recency bias because we do not want to be trading with cognitive biases, right? We want to be trading with a clear mind and unbiased. We want our approach to be unbiased and logical. So today we will not assume that price will keep dropping that just like it did yesterday, just because it was dropping like that. And we will not expect to take the same exact trades we took yesterday, right? Yesterday's price was pretty nice. One stop here, one take profit here, and another take profit here, and price kept going lower. Gave this one here, this one here. I mentioned this one before it happened on live session, yesterday's live session, right before closing. It was looking like that. I just marked this high and I said this is a nice opportunity for study, and it played out as well. So price swept the highs and then drop lower, swept the highs and then drop lower. So that was yesterday, and we do not bring yesterday here, okay? We are in a completely different day, and we may see a completely different price action and price behavior. So we are going to just focus on the data in front of us, and let's start our top-down analysis, right? Let me first remove everything and close that executions so that our charts can be clean. Daily chart is looking pretty much the same. Price swept this step low. This is also a combo low on daily time frame. The range. This is the range. Breakout of the range. The SBS, our liquidity sweep pattern on daily chart. And price starts to go in higher, but before it takes out the another range extreme, it does another liquidity sweep pattern, right? It is exactly like this. Consolidation area, breakout, our pattern. After that, same thing once again. This consolidation, breakout, tap, higher high, and then sweep. This is how it looks, right? Consolidation area, breakout, test, higher high, retracement, and inside of this smaller structure, once again, consolidation area, break. This is the test, higher high, before taking out this one, and then sweeping this. We don't just assume it will keep going higher, but we know that this price is range bound. This is the bullish pattern, and we are close to range lows. Yesterday was a strong trending day. It went lower pretty significantly, but it doesn't mean that just because it dropped that yesterday, it will keep doing it. Right? It may very well turn back higher. So let's zoom in a little bit more and look at the 4-hour chart. On 4-hour chart, I immediately saw this low. Again, the same pattern. The break, the test, the higher high. We don't know if it is going to go up yet, but we know that it is in a cheaper zone. So we are not rushing anything. And I will drop to 1-hour chart. On hourly chart, we see a small consolidation area, okay, and retracement towards that area. So this is another tap low, okay. We are just picking up specific swing points for our liquidity pools, okay. We don't use every single high and low as a liquidity point, okay. We pick specific liquidity points that we perceive as to be much more important. So price has been bearish, a strong order flow, it has been consolidating below the moving averages. Okay, hourly chart doesn't look so bullish, right? This crossover happened and these started to expand from each other, and as we can see, these are tap highs on hourly chart, right? We follow the highs just like that. Break, test. This is the tap high. Once again, break, test, another one. Break, test, or retracement, or pullback, whatever you want to call it. And break, another test. Price seems like it already took these two, and others are still intact. I will check ES real quick. Yeah, both look similar. And seems like it is inside of a hourly range or consolidation area. And 15-minute chart. This is the last tap high on 15-minute chart. Break, the test, the lower low. Price swept this and went back lower. Sweep in the lows, going higher, sweep in the highs, going back lower inside the range. I will now look at 5-minute chart and I will mark my first candle on the 5-minute chart for the deviation levels. And I want to see how big it was. It was just 100 points. One standard deviation towards the low. And price went back higher. I want to just check this too. 1.4, 1.5, doesn't matter. will close this back. Yeah, it doesn't look like it is rushing to go anywhere, for now at least. So I see a combo setup over here, but I don't know. You guys think this scalp setup worth a try? This is the zone consolidation area. This is the retracement, first retracement towards the area, and price took out, and same pattern. Candles are too big, but it is range bound. My least favorite price action. I mean, when it is more, it is in a expansion mode, right? We don't have to put that big of a stop loss. It's too much, too big. But our target is not too big, right? Because price is compressed inside of a range. That's one of the main reasons I don't like trading consolidations like this, especially if the volatility is slightly high and candlesticks are big. Just because the candlesticks are big, normally this would be the entry, right? Just because this was big, we are going to have to put a big stop loss. Our risk will be increased, and in order to get just 1-to-1, we are going to need 70 points, right? Just 1-to-1, and 140 points 1-to-2. Let's compare it with yesterday, right? Yesterday we entered from here and stop was here, 30 point. I mean, 140 points would be a much more profitable setup, right? It would be something like that. So also, just because it has been consolidating, there is always a possibility to see a double top. So if this was an expansion, I would take my entry from here, right? Stop here and take profit, something like that, right? But since this is not an expansion, this might very well leave another wick and then go back lower. So I believe if you are used to trading in trending environments, if you are used to trading one-sided price action, then I believe it's best to either completely skip the consolidation days, completely not taking any trade, or being patient. I prefer to do the latter, the second one, because I want to learn, I want to improve myself. I don't want to sit on the sidelines, and I don't want to blame the price just because it is not moving like it did yesterday. I mean, most traders call this as a bad price action and yesterday as a good price action. I believe there is no such thing as good price action or bad price action, because this is just pure price. It is just data, and this data does not have a morality, right? Or it does not have a quality. It is just doing whatever it is doing, and most of the things it does is repeatable, right? I mean, it behaves in a certain way when it is trending, and it behaves in another certain way when it is consolidating. And most of the times, consolidations are a little bit more confusing than the expansions, right? Because the expansions are much more simpler to see, okay? There is not too much fake outs or things like that. It is just either dropping down or going up, right? But consolidations tend to be more confusing. So right now, it is starting more ripe. No imbalance here. Candlestick size looks more reasonable, so I will place a sell stop order here. It would be nicer if price just leaves a small doji here before taking our entry, okay? Because currently our stop loss will be something like that, or this high. But if this candle closes like that, then our entry will be here, and our stop loss is going to be much tighter. I will check ES chart once again real quick. Okay, let's go back to NQ. Normally I don't take entries from imbalances. I mean, if there was a bullish imbalance here on this particular price section, I might have taken it because price is pretty range bound. The good thing about the stop entries is just if it is not breaking a particular swing or particular level, you don't take the entry, right? So I am moving my entry here. If this candlestick closes before taking out this low, I will move my entry here. Yes, took the high. Nasdaq took the high. I will remove the entry, sell entry. Because I was betting on what? I was betting on this. If price takes out this high and does a double top over here and then start to reverse immediately, then I would like to get a short setup. But it did not do that, so it invalidated the idea before even we entered a position, right? So we just waited patiently. We didn't know if price was going to take out that high or not, and we didn't lose anything, right? I believe we can get a scalp short opportunity here. It would be a mean reversion setup, and I will try it. Normally I would wait for a double top, but since this is taking out the range extreme, I'm not expecting a double top. Okay, I mean I'm not waiting for a double top. If price took out this low, I would be in a short setup, but price didn't. Price kept going higher, so I will remove this order once again. because price might be breaking out, right? I mean, it took the high. It didn't reverse back inside the range. It just tapped the range high with this candlestick and then went higher. Also, this is the last cross of moving averages, and it kind of seems like moving averages are getting separate from each other. Both moving averages are looking up. So I am more cautious about the short setups right now, because I don't know yet if this is a breakout or false breakout. I'm not going to force anything. I will just zoom out and remember the things I said at the beginning of the session, right? Okay, price has been dropping lower. Price has been dropping lower, but it also took some bullish levels, right? And price has been range bound for a quite while, and there is no reason to see price going up towards this weekly opening gap, right? There is no reason not to see it. I mean, price might come to this level. Maybe not today, maybe next week, but these levels are working like a magnet most of the times. So I will just check the older gaps. These blue boxes are just much older weekly opening gaps. This one is from November, and these are even older. I just check them occasionally because the higher time frame levels I use are just these gaps. So if I like the way it looks, I draw it on my chart. And then I will close back the indicator. I don't want to see a messy chart. Okay. Currently it seems a little bullish, and it is coming towards this tap high, and this imbalance already tested. Just wait, observe, and see what price does, right? If we drop down to 15-minute chart, if it seems like price invalidated reversals after sweeping these highs, invalidated that idea because price already did the double top on this level, even made a lower low on a nice particular level and went back higher. So we are taking out another deviation point. We took the first deviation, I mean deviation lower, one standard deviation lower, and now price is in the one standard deviation higher. Yeah, it looks bullish, I guess. I'm just removing their lines so it wouldn't hurt our eyes, right? Good morning. It is 6 p.m. in Turkey. It's really comfortable to trade US markets in Turkey. Do you guys... Hello, good morning, Money Glitch NQ. Nice nickname. How are you guys doing? If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Today might be a slower day compared to yesterday because of the reasons I was talking about, right? And when you look at the price, you can see that easily. It's not that fast. It's just doing its thing between some levels because there are no huge one-sided market participation. I mean, yesterday probably everyone and their grandma was selling, clicking market sell, right? The order flow traders call these market sellers as aggressive sellers, and the people put limit sell instead of market sell, and they call that limit sellers as what was, oh, I forget it. Normally I would look for a long setup towards these lows, right? I mean, I would take something like that, but today is the day I be a little bit more cautious. Because when it is slow, that means it is not rushing. Even if it is going to go high, it might do things like that, right? And if I treat this like any other expansion day, right? If I treat today like today's price is going to just go one-sided for today, how much losses would I take? Because this is my entry style, like, right? I just enter with buy stop. If I treat today the way I treat the other expansion days, I might get stopped out several times like this, right? And I certainly don't want to do that. I don't want to get multiple stops like this. I mean, it would be meaningless to get this long after stopping out 4 or 5 times in a row, right? I mean, there was some times I traded just like this. I didn't care really. I was clicking long, stopped out, wait for the confirmation and click again, and last one would wipe out all the losses and bring me some profits. But back then, daily chart was bullish. Price was just constantly making new all-time highs, so price was bullish most of the time. And I was just longing, and then I was making money. Right now, if I try that same thing I would keep blowing the accounts because there's also this possibility, right? How much losses am I going to take, right? So I'm done trading like a psychopath gambler. So I am choosing patience over profits right now. Because I don't want to lose my sanity, lose my peace of mind. I certainly don't want that. My peace of mind is more valuable than anything else. If I lose it, no matter how much money I make, I will eventually lose that money. That money is going to go away. And if I went crazy while I was trying to make that money, then eventually I won't be able to make that money again when I need it, right? I'm talking about my personal experiences in here. So patience is one of the most valuable asset a trader can have. At least this is my opinion. Which prop firm? Well, I don't have many options in Turkey. Most of the prop firms are forbidden in Turkey. I mean, they do not accept customers from Turkey, so I don't have got many choices. There is Blenox and Trade Day and Funded Next. Those are the ones I prefer. If you are looking for a prop firm, I believe Tradify is good. I mean, if Tradify was accepting customers from Turkey, I would most certainly trade with them. I think Funded Next is good too. Bulenox, cheap evaluations, good for learning phases. One evaluation is like $15-20 with the discounts. I don't recommend buying Bulenox unless there is a 90% discount. So don't pay more than $20-30 for it because they always. I'm using Topstep and Fivers in CFT. Yeah, Fivers is a good CFT firm. If you are not over leveraging, they do not touch your accounts. If you over leverage or take too much trades. I heard that Lucid is good too, but again, they too do not accept customers from Turkey. So, not an option for me. I'm thinking about moving away from Turkey, moving to some other country where prop firms are not restricted. But I guess Lucid, TradeFi, my funded features, those prop firms are solid, good prop firms. At least they are paying. One friend asked short. Well, I don't know. I'm just observing and waiting. Yeah, most of the times I trade SBS setup, but SBS, in my opinion, SBS is just a pattern, right? An entry pattern, a pattern that shows us liquidity sweeps and internal reversals or lower time frame reversals. The idea is that price is inside of a area, price leaves that area, which is breakout, and when price comes back to area, we are not sure if price keep going higher, right? If price keeps going higher, then we get our double confirmation, but this time we are not sure if price going to keep going higher or price would want to manipulation or not. So when price does this manipulation and then reverses back higher, we get convinced that price did everything that it can do. Okay, there are too many confirmations over here. Price broke out a level, retraced back to the level, went higher, created its manipulation, and again going higher. So if we have got a bullish bias and if we have got enough reason, then we can say that this might be a launching pattern, right? And we can easily take trades like that. Even if price just keeps doing its range thing, we can get our profit, right? And if it keeps going higher, well, then we still have our profit. So most of the times, especially for the entry pattern, I use the SBS, but yeah, direction is really important, and I believe speed of that direction is really important too. I mean, look at how price looks, okay? And look at this particular low. Have you ever seen that price sweeping this low and immediately going back higher, or maybe something like that, making a small higher high over here? You probably saw something like that many times, right? Price sweeping this and immediately going higher, things like that. When it is fast, these kind of things happen more often, and when it is slow like this, and today is Friday, I believe it is a good reason to believe that price might be slow, or at least expect that, be cautious about that, right? So when price is one-sided and directional, okay, this kind of sweeps usually gives nice short setups, right? But when it is range bound, and when price gives this one near range lows, then these setups might get stopped out more often, right? So for me, context is very important, and SBS is just a pattern. It is simply a pattern that gives me some information about the liquidity points and market structure. So, for example, I see this range over here and I see this low over here right above this old weekly gap, which seems like a price point that price respected several times before. So when I mark this low, what I know that I should not be looking for short setups immediately after price takes this out. I mean, there were times I was trading more blindly, and I would look at, for example, I would look at price like this. I would say, okay, it's going lower, and I would market sell and, for example, put stops here, and then things like that without looking at that tap low level. And then I would end up with a loss even though my bias was correct, right? So this give me about this isn't just a level that I can get a trade off, right? I mean, I can get a long setup from this level. Also, I can avoid taking a short setup in a wrong time and wrong place by using this level, right? This level talks to me. It tells me that be cautious about your short setups after price sweeps this one. And that information is quite useful and valuable, I believe. So price did not take out this high. I wouldn't be surprised if this high stays protected, but also look at the levels and look at the way price behaves, right? For example, look at this week. These 2 weeks. And look how this level looks. These 200 SMA and 20 SMA. I mean, it's clearly a range bound day, right? And it's been 90 minutes, almost 90 minutes since the market opened, and we still don't see a significant one-sided price action, right? I mean, when we zoom out, price is still inside of the range. Where is it right now? It's right here, right? Zoom out and check what this level is. This is a level right inside of the range. And price is currently sitting in the range, right? When I zoom out and look at it like this, all of this area is a consolidation area. This box over here, I will just simply zoom in on here, the consolidation area. Price broke above it, After the breakout, price made the first retracement. And price kept going higher. And price retraced deeply. Price made a really deep retracement and price turned back up after tapping this 200 simple moving average. Okay. But also, look at this. This is a little consolidation area. Price hit a significant level, went back lower, made a retracement, went back lower again, made some retracements again, and this is actually a tap high. What do I see here? What do I see is I am seeing both the bullish and bearish patterns at the same time. What do I do in occasions like that? Well, I just wait to gather more data, right? I mean, what is the worst thing after waiting, right? If I just keep waiting, I might end up today without taking any setup. I just watched the price action. I observed how it behaved. I improved my brain's pattern recognition abilities, right? I accumulated more experience and I didn't lose anything. So I'm totally fine with missing everything, right? So in here, I see the bullish pattern here, the break, the test, the higher high, retracement and turn back higher. This is my bullish pattern. And I also see the bearish pattern here. This is a break, test, lower, lower, sweep it, right? This is my bearish pattern and bullish pattern. Which one is going to work? Well, I honestly don't know, but I might look for a long opportunity from this low. Why? Because it is going to be a combo, right? This is the combo. Also, price is above the simple moving averages and price has been going higher, slightly at least going higher. And during these kind of occasions, if you get really confused about the price, you can simply just zoom out. Look for another time frame. I was in the 1 minute chart. I am now looking at 5 minute. Do I see an SBS setup on 5 minutes? Let me check. This is the low. This is the last high. So this is the 5 minute tap high. Price through at once, made a double top with failed swing, but before it went back lower, it took out the high once again, and this might be a double top. And I really just don't know what is going to happen next. And I don't need to know. I believe I might get a chance, right? There is a moving average cross on 5 minute, and we got midnight opening price through the open. We got these two moving averages. We got this 1 minute moving average over here. So I think I'll just keep waiting a little bit more. And I will check the hourly chart when I do wait, because new hourly chart just opened. This is our 1 hour 20 simple moving average. This candlestick just opened and we are inside of a range, and price has been a little bit choppy, right? Just a little, not too much, but some may call this a choppy price action, right? At least compared to yesterday, we can obviously say that today is less directional than yesterday, right? So let us wait. Did it create a double top? Kinda looks like a double top, but it didn't sweep. Let me check the NQ. Didn't sweep either. Yes. Yes, created its double top. The ability of being patient in a day like that was something I really needed in the past, because I was blowing all my accounts in this kind of price action. Yeah, trading is hard, difficult. If you are failing too many challenges, I recommend you to stick with cheaper ones. Linux is being quite cheap during the evaluation. Yeah, 10k. Okay. Is there a reason you prefer CFT firms instead of futures firms? I believe futures rules are a little bit more difficult, but there is almost no slippage in futures, and no slippage, better executions, no spread also. Way futures after some pet. Okay. This seems like a This seems like an SBS short, but the way this 20 simple moving average looks makes me hesitate about this possible short entry. There is a 4-hour imbalance over here. The tap high on the hourly chart. This one. It is a 4-hour imbalance. I don't know if price wants to come back here or not, but we'll just see. But this level also looks like a nice break and retest level. You may wanna call it breaker block to whatever floats your boat. It's same thing. There is no difference. I think I will try a scalp short from here. Sweeping here would be nice. Did it sweep this one? I want to see a doji here, and I want to take my entry after the doji test. That would be really nice. After this candlestick closes, the entry will be here. I think I will wait for this candlestick. I believe price may receive some reaction from this level. I want to see this candlestick closing. After this closes, I want to enter from its low with sell stop once again. Let me check ES once again. Nasdaq seems a little bit weaker than ES. Candlestick closed. I placed my order. I couldn't make it for. Okay, I will sell it right. I couldn't sell it. I was gonna add one more, but I was too late. Normally this would be the place I take my partial, but since TradingView slipped once again, I'll just leave the order here and another from here. First partial taken, I will Fail stop on top of this candlestick. Let me check. Yeah, we took 60. We are basically risk-free on this setup. If price comes back and takes out our stop loss, we will be done with almost break-even on this trade. If it keeps going lower, then we will take one more partial here, and well, we will see the other one. I didn't want to see it become a doji, so I will move this here. I would rather see this becoming a black candle. So I took another partial. Yeah, this position is definitely risk-free right now. These places, let me check this one. Yeah, this looks like a nice point for a partial. I mean, the last one. If I could click the sell, and if this was, I mean, if I could took that last one, I would take one more partial from here. Right now I wanna just observe it. This seems like a nice point for partial profits. I kind of feel like price might hit this level. Just observe and see. In this kind of price action, I don't like carrying the position too much, because, well, you see why. Imagine you took a short setup from here. This is your stop loss. Would you rather exit from here or wait for price to do all of this and then exit from, I don't know, here? I'd rather the first one. Just be done. I don't like this kind of deep retracement, and I don't want to sit with this kind of deep retracements, right? I don't like this. I don't like those. They are affecting my psychology. I'm not lying to myself. I'm not saying, well, I don't care. I don't get affected. No, I get affected. This looks like a long combo, but since this is just an equal high, I didn't want to take this one. So if price takes out this low, I might take partial and maybe look for a long setup over here. If price doesn't take out this one, well, then I will be keep watching the price, right? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That sucks. Blowing an account right before the payout is an awful feeling. I don't trade London or Asia. I don't take any trades on London. But if I start trading on London, I would probably trade on 5-minute chart. Price kind of seems like it might take the stop loss, but I don't know. Another sell here, and I will also move the stop loss here. And if price takes out this high, I might try another short. And this will be definitely a take profit point. Yeah, yes, did the combo. Nasdaq is looking a little bit more messy because Nasdaq couldn't make this higher high. If price takes out this, okay, stop taken. That's fine. That's why I try my best to be more cautious during the range bound days, because price couldn't even sweep one more low, right? Let me check the 5-minute once again. I want to see something like this, taking this and then going back lower. But still, I will try another one here. This is the stop loss. A little bit too big, but it's fine. Just ranging and ranging. This green box is the daily opening gap, by the way. One of the level is previous day close. This level is previous day close, and this level is today's open. Between them is this daily opening gap. I am going to check regular trade hours. I will smooth this stop to break even. Yeah, price came back to the level we were expecting, but Well, but once again it did its thingy because before taking our profit target. That's fine. 100%. I will exit from here because of this 100%. What was that level? It was... Did I accidentally move this level? Just give me a second. 5 minutes. 9:30 candle. Yeah, I accidentally moved this candle, but so I thought I locked it, but I didn't lock it. It's fine. It's alright. This is the high of the first 5-minute range. This is that step low. I'm not going to take this long because price is inside the bearish imbalance and 200 SMA is here. When price looks like this, I experience this. I mean, I take long here, put my stop loss here, and price does this, another low, and then reverse back higher, right? So this is why I am not rushing for a long setup. In this kind of day, nobody knows where price is going. I mean, nobody knows if price is gonna come to this level or this level, okay? I mean, at least I don't know. Since I don't know where it is going to go next, I can't take a directional trade. So I have to take some scalp setups inside of the range because it's difficult to see if price will come from this level to this level. But it is easier to see that price might come from this level to this level, right? See this one? If I blindly took that setup, I would have end up with a stop loss. If this stays as a gap, I still don't want to take my entry. Inside of a gap. This is not a gap. Now I can take my entry from this level. Buy stop. Stop loss here. I don't like the way this simple moving average looks, so I might kill this trade earlier. And if I see something like that, one black candle, and then going above it, I might add another one. Otherwise, this is just a one-to-one trade. Because I don't like the way this looks. Now I want to see one more black candle like this, and then price going higher. If price does that, I can add another one. If it doesn't do that, I just take my exit. There is another option, and it is carrying position with break even, because our break even was in a good point, right? This was the break even. This candlestick was looking nice, but I just wanted to leave it as a scalp because of the way this 20 simple moving average looked. And today is not a day I try to make a bag, right? Today is the day I should be grateful if I just survive. And if I am making some money in this kind of days, and that's awesome. Yeah, typical Friday price action. Hello. Hello, hello. I definitely agree with that. Kind of test your patience, but we all need. Yes, we all need some patience. That's a typical Friday price action. I agree. Do you guys wanna hear why I took that last long setup? Let me explain it real quickly. I will remove everything. I will zoom out. Okay, this is our liquidity sweep pattern, right? I mean, we believe that this low is a weaker low, and this low is a stronger low. So we use this one as our liquidity level, because if price reverses back higher after taking out this, we consider this as a SBS setup, but we see this much more stronger price action, because this would be a failed swing. Price would be failed to make a new high and then come back to take out this one. So we would be more suspicious about this low working as a nice liquidity level for price reversing back higher. I mean, there are many times price does this reversal too, but we want it to be higher probability level, so we use this one. And when we see something like that, right, we say, okay, price was going higher, manipulated this low, and broke above this internal high, and it might be keep going higher to take out this low and maybe even go beyond it, right? But think about this. Price is doing that, retracing, going higher, coming back to take out that retracement, and then going higher again. Now, check this out, okay? Look at it like that. What is happening here? Price broke out a level, right? And then came back, made its retracement, and went higher again. Then came back to manipulate this low, and inside of this range, same exact thing happens on a lower scale, right? Price breaks this one, goes higher, comes back lower, sweeps this low. The low over here was this one, and this is this one, and does the same exact thing. This is a nice setup, and especially if you are targeting small profits like that, because you can clearly see that this is a range bound price action. I mean, it is going somewhere, but it is going slowly. It is going back and forth. Even if this one is going to go lower, it might very well do this, right? And then keep going lower, and you will still be ended up with your profits, right? You might, if your entry is something like that, you might even take even more, right? I mean, let's look at this price closer, right? You may want to take a screenshot of this if you want. I will remove it. And now look at the price with the same logic. This is my high. Price took the high. Price gave its retracement. First one this, and others are valid too. This is our significant liquidity level, but since price has been a little bit slow, that means the volume is lower. If the volume is lower, then that means price might extend beyond our level, right? I mean, if the volume is thin, price could easily slice through it, but eventually after the deep retracement, what does price do? Well, it's basically our pattern, right? Break, the test, the higher high. The test has been swept, and then again break, the test, right? The higher high, and then the test has been swept with a double bottom, and then price goes higher. Same exact thing we just drew, right? The breakout, first retracement, higher high, price comes back to take out the first retracement and makes a little bit deep retracement. The reason we wait for this combo is we don't know the depth of this, okay? I don't know how far this will go. Will this come back and go back higher from here, or from here, or from here, or here, or maybe here? I don't know. I simply don't know. If I don't know that, what do? Well, I just wait and see to know if this was the last place, okay? If this was the place it wanted to turn back higher. I wait, I see the same exact pattern inside of this smaller range, right? Price makes this sweep once again and then goes higher. This is our combo setup. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And inside of the range, once again, 1. Let me make it green and smaller. 1, this breakout. You may call this 2. Or this one, it doesn't really matter. I picked this one because it was looking like a nice swing. Right? Then this is 3. Sweep is the 4. And another sweep, then reversal is the 5. This is exactly where I entered. If I carried the position more, it would end up with more wins, but I don't care about the amount, right? This could have been a 2-hour setup. I just exited on 1 hour. I mean, I could have trailed the stop loss here, right? And then let the position run. But I considered this probability by tapping this and coming back lower. So I just exited. If today was not Friday and if price was not that slow, I would likely carry this position even beyond this level. Normally, I would carry this position in a normal day, a day which is less choppy than this one. I would have targeted at least this high and then this high. I believe it could still take out this one, but it is very slow and I just wanted to test the setup idea, the combo setup idea. So if it was a trending day, my target might even be this one, right? This weekly opening gap. But we took our setups, we got the experience, right? Maybe we could have foreseen that price is going above this 20 simple moving average, because that's what price has been doing all day, right? It is going above and below that green line, right? So maybe this one was foreseeable. I don't know. I will keep observing and keep taking my notes. For example, when I journal this trade, I will write my journal that I closed this on 1 hour because there is this there was this simple 20 simple moving average over here, and I will also add a note. Price was closing above and below it, and maybe I could have carried it towards 2 hour. I mean, at least I could have waited to price go a little bit above it. I'll just take my note and that's it. Price seems like it is making a one more combo again, small combo. This is the break. This is the retracement. This is the higher high. Price took out and immediately went back higher. Price might be keep going higher and taking out this high, but I wouldn't take this entry because, well, simply we are close to range highs, and I should always consider this possibility of deeper retracement. I don't want to enter a long position close to highs, and I don't want to enter short position close to lows, right? We took our short near the highs and took our profits, and also we took our long near the lows, closer to low levels, right? And took our profits once again. Consolidation days are not that complicated, but when you get used to something, it becomes complicated, right? I mean, I am used to trading this kind of price action because I started making money on 2024 and price was pretty much moving like this almost every single day. This is how I turned 600 bucks into 100k. Price was just doing this all the time. I was waiting, price dropping that like that, making a retracement, making a lower low, and as soon as price sweeps and keeps going back lower, I was starting to click sell, right? I would immediately sell from this level. As soon as price comes back and takes out this low, I would sell here. And I would even add, right? And I would even sell another and making nice amounts. But this only happens when price is one-sided. And being one-sided is not enough. Price also needs high volume and high volatility to be able to move like that. And if the daily chart is trending, pretty much most days is like this. But if the daily chart is not trending, well, some days are like this. Okay. I think this was a nice and fruitful session. I believe we all learned some cool stuff, some profitable stuff. We saw nice patterns, nice setups that, by the way, these kind of setups occur almost every day, especially when the price is range bound, when the price is low. Both side works. I mean, you might perceive this like that. When price keeps going higher, you might feel like, well, this SBS short setup, I mean this short setup after price this liquidity level and this short setup, you may say it didn't play out or it didn't work out. There is a combo here, another one. You might perceive it like that, or you might just say, hey, this short played out until this level, and also this combo short played out until this level, and also this long played out either, right? At least this is how I see it, especially when it is consolidating. Both sides works, but they work in a weird manner, so if you can't see it, you feel like your side just didn't work, didn't play out. Do you guys have any questions? If you don't have any questions, I am closing this session too, because I am starting to get tired. I talked a lot. I wanna eat some snack and then I will go to the gym. So if you have any questions, you can ask them in comment section or you can ask them in Twitter DMs. Bye bye, my friend. Thank you for participating and thank you for joining the chat. Have a great day ahead. I'll see you later.